Jay Johnson. I know y'all have seen me come here for a couple of weeks, and tonight I'm going to share my story. So I'm proud to say that I'm the founder and CEO of Inside Out Prison Ministry, Rebels for Humanity, and Kingdom Music, MFFK. And when I put it all together, I like to call it the Kingdom Era. So I didn't have a full name for it until probably a couple months ago, so that's what I like to call it. So I'll start with the beginning, because you got to know the background before you know where I am at present. So I was born in Fort Hood, Texas. I'm the middle sibling. My parents have been married for 40 years. Grew up real nice home. My family roots are in Mississippi and Chicago, so I'm very Southern. Because I lived with my grandmother for a little bit, and I had to go there because I was getting in trouble here. So I grew up in the streets of South Austin, Dove Springs area, Onion Creek, 4-4, if y'all know what I'm talking about. I grew up in the hood. And when I moved here from Germany, I moved from Germany to Mississippi, and coming from Germany to Mississippi, the language there, it's a little different. So I kind of got picked on and bullied. And when I realized I knew how to fight, it was a wrap from there. So I was like, ain't nobody gonna be messing with me about the way that I talk. So I got into a lot of fights. Just growing up throughout, I got into a lot of fights. I was with some gangs, I've sold drugs, I've done all the street stuff. And in 2012, my aunt passed away, September 15th, so that anniversary just happened. It's been 10 years. My aunt passed away, and I was trying to find something. I didn't know what that something was. I had, tried the drugs, tried the clubs, I had tried all this stuff to fill a void that just wasn't happening, So in 2013, I gave my life to Christ. I was baptized. I started singing in the choir. Never sung, never done no kind of music, y'all. Like no lie. It's always been my sister, my grandmother, but I've never been a musician. I like music, but it's never been like, this is what you're gonna do type thing, So joined the choir. Got into a bad relationship and ended up in prison. So I'm gonna pass something around that I want everybody to see, because this is important. This is an important part of the story. I'm gonna start over here. I was incarcerated in TDCJ, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I was there for 15 months on a 10-year charge because I almost killed someone out of anger, fighting, And a whole transformation happened in there. Hallelujah. When I was in Travis County, this lady that's over here, wave your hand. This lady right here, she came to see me every week. I didn't know who she was. I just needed to get out of that cell. I needed to get out. I was in a 24-hour tank. We weren't allowed to go to church. None of this stuff was happening. So I signed up. They were like, yeah, if you sign up, you get to leave out of here. I'm like, what? So I signed up for the clergy visit, not knowing that this lady would be a vital instrument in my life for the rest of my life. And she came to see me week after week and week after week. And I was telling her about all the amazing stuff that was happening in a maximum security tank. We created this thing called Reckyard Church. We had it every day at 5 o'clock. And it started real small. And one day, all 48 women that were in that tank were out on that rec yard. Wow. The sergeants, lieutenants, the captains, they all were running into the dorm. They thought we were having a riot, we're having church. They were like, oh my God, they said, we never seen anything like this happen. We're out there singing, and we based it off of Joshua chapter 6, which is the Jericho walk, with the Jericho walls, the walls of Jericho coming down. So that's what it started and was based on. And every day I would go out, I would write a new song, and I would share the song out at Rec Yard Church. And Miss Terry, she would pray over people, and there was a time when she did the increment of washing someone's feet at the Rec Yard Church. So it was a very intimate time, and it was something special, and it gave us something to look forward to every day, just being locked in there. We didn't have problems that you would typically see in a maximum security jail. So that happened, and that was in Travis County, and Miss Pam stayed in contact with me even when I went to TDCJ, and I was there, and the same kind of stuff started happening. So that was the music, and that was prison ministry. Y'all keeping up with me? Yeah. All right. So in the county, there were homeless people that I met that were coming into the jail because they wanted a place to sleep, they were hungry, they wanted something to eat. So they do something silly to land up in jail for a couple of months, get themselves cleaned up. So we got the homeless, we got prison ministry, and we got music.
Wow.
Rebels for Humanity, homeless ministry. Inside Out prison ministry. Kingdom Music, MFFK, Music Fit for the King is a music ministry. This all happened. This was a transformation that happened all during my time of my incarceration. So when I got home in 2015, I stayed at my parents' house. I shared a room with my 10-year-old nephew. I was in a bunk bed with my 10-year-old nephew. But it was like the best time of my life because I had been separated from my family for so long. It was a long time to me because I spent a lot of time with my family. So it was like hard for me. It was a very long time for me. So shared the room with my nephew and started doing music on the outside. I fell in love with the music. So this first song, because my testimony is a little different, I gotta sing it to you. This first song that I'm gonna do, it's off my first album, Streets Disciples. From the streets to the temple, I had two young men that were working with me. One was 5 and the other one was 10 at the time. But I'm doing my verse here. This song is called Free, and this is my testimony of what was going on while I was inside of prison. Free. He delivered me, he rescued me, he freed me from the hands of my enemies, from all the lies they told about me. Free from affliction, free from the pain, free from oppression and depression, oh man. Free from the prison gates, he broke the chains up inside of me. Many nights I cried, but I needed that to be free. Yeah, I needed that to be free. On my knees I talked to thee, you told me that the truth set me free. So I speak the truth to the whole world. Come on y'all and fly with me. Spread your wings, he spread his wings so that you and I could be free. Hung and bled, dropped his head, last words he said, it is finished. And that's why I'm free. And I came home and I started making more and more music because that was the way I shared my story. So this next song I'm gonna do is called Through the Storm. We all been through storms, right? I'm kind of going through one right now, whether you believe it or not. So this song is called Through the Storm, and it's gonna share my street side as I'm transitioning and coming to God. KJSD1, I'm just a rebel. True story. Many friends I lost, relationships gone bad. The only one that had my back is my holy dad. I made it through the storm and I made it through the rain. So many tears I cried, I should have been washed away. But you saw fit for me to stay. Yeah, you saw fit for me to stay. Your chosen vessel, I speak your name. Your love so real, it never took it away. Even when I went astray, out there playing devil games, I tried to take my life more than once. I used to ride around drunk smoking blunts. Beer pong was my favorite game. You switched it up and changed the game. Now I'm in the rap game, rapping about G.O.D. and how we so good to be. Many nights of no sleep, living out my van, parked on the side of streets, too prideful to go back home. Misunderstood, I was better off alone. My lifestyle, my parents didn't condone. All I wanted to do was be loved for me. Aunt Dree's cousin Valerie. Can't forget Sky, who helped me through these troubling times. Aunt Charlotte, a true blessing in disguise. I guess God knew how I needed each of you in my life, cause I couldn't hear him. But he knew I listened to each of you. Yeah, that's how I made it through the storm and rain. And Jesus Christ is the name I praise, because he pulled me through the storm and rain. He took away all my guilt and shame. Oh yes, I made it through the storm and rain. And Jesus Christ is the name I praise. We've all had storms. Some are different than others. Some of us are going through storms right now. But I just encourage each and every one of you to just hold on and keep the faith. Now I'm about to minister to myself right now because I'm having a tough time in life right now. But this song is called Keep the Faith. This is off the album, The Coming of Two Different Worlds. So Miss V, the lady who's on the track, on the next 3 tracks actually, I met her in Travis County during Backyard Church. She was singing. And I call her youngin' because she was only like 17 years old. She's now married. She has 3 beautiful children, and I'm going to the birthday party Sunday. So, yeah, so we came together outside and started making music out here so that people could kind of get an idea of what was going on in there. This song right here is called Keep the Faith. Have you ever just wanted to give up on life? You know, just throw in the towel. We all go through it sometimes, and I'm going through it right now. But I'm gonna hold on, and I'm gonna keep the faith. Every day, our life is just a test. Gotta keep our heads up. No time for stress, no time for mess. We gotta stay on the grind. Cause our Father is working double time to provide, to protect, to love. Don't you feel His blessings raining from above? Walk by faith, not by sight. And watch the darkness run away from the light. We gotta stay in that good fight. Keep running the race, have faith. And what you don't see, you gotta trust and believe. It's impossible to please God without faith. Your life is like an earthquake. Shook, broken out, cracked up. Faith is the foundation, yeah, that makes our life worth living. Hey, we gotta keep the faith. We gotta keep the faith. Yeah, we gotta keep the faith. Yeah, hey, we gotta keep the faith. keep the faith. Yeah, we gotta keep the faith. Yeah, keep the faith. Yeah. We gotta keep the faith. Faith over fear, let's make it clear. Yeah, ha, for the enemy to hear. We gotta keep that tunnel vision, stay clear from the snares by day and the arrows by night, and take flight with the King of Kings. I love to call him my Prince of Peace, my Shalom, the place I call home, with not a worry, not a care in this world. Justified by my faith in Jesus the Christ, I no longer live in this world, but he lives within me. In trying times, my faith is increased. It won't be painless, it won't be quick, but with God, I'll get through it. Remain steadfast in his word. Focus, fight, and finish. Hey, we gotta keep the faith. We gotta keep the faith. Yeah. We gotta keep the faith. Yeah, we gotta keep the faith. That beat. This kid that I used to coach, he's actually my producer. He's 23 years old. So it's interesting how God comes back in a full circle.
That's right.
I got 2 more songs for y'all. This next song is a #1 song off the Coming of Two Different Worlds, which they're streaming on all platforms, wherever you listen to your music. KJ SD1, the SD1 stands for Street Disciple 1, KAYJAY. It's how you spell KJ SD1. This song is called Counting the Cost. And when I wrote this song, I had an ankle monitor on because I was lied on, and I had to realize that this walk is not easy. No matter how much time you've done, you can complete your sentence. If someone says you've done something and you have that title on you, they can come back and get you. So I had an ankle monitor on. I think I was on house arrest. They came to visit me, but I think I was on house arrest when this song transpired. But this song is called Counting the Cost. It's a heavy cost when we're walking with Jesus, when we're trying to do the right thing. And you know, the enemy's always attacking. He's always trying to bring our past life and throw it up in front of us and things like that. So that's what this song's about, and it's featuring V. V's on this track too.
Consider following Jesus, God for us, so that we will be blessed to live for him and die in peace.
Counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost, hey, counting the cost, counting the cost. Counting the cost to follow Jesus Christ. Counting the cost to follow Jesus. Be a disciple, never easy. Disobey, be disciplined with Jesus Christ will always win. He gave his life for all our sins. The cost of following Jesus. Yeah, we gotta give up things in our lives. Family and friends, the ones who are very close, the ones that we love the most. But being a disciple, you gotta put God first. Loving him before ourselves. Pushing pride to the side. Money, material things don't mean nothing to the King of Kings. You're gonna love one and hate the other. You can't serve 2 masters. He has all power and authority. He's still calling on you and me to go out into this dying world, to share his gospel to all the little boys and girls. Counting the cost, counting the cost. Counting the cost, counting the cost, hey, counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost to follow Jesus Christ. Counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost, hey, counting the cost, counting the cost, counting the cost to follow Jesus Christ.
Would you give your life for him? He gave his life for you.
Cross and carry it daily, leaving out to follow Christ. You gotta say no, deny yourself, be ready to suffer from the worst prosecution. Following Jesus could cost you everything. Your reputation, your comfort zone, your job title, and maybe even your home. He wore the thorns for you and me. Defeated death so we could have victory. Salvation is a free gift, but the cost of discipleship, could cost you your whole life. This walk is not easy. Temptation everywhere we look. We gotta keep our heads in the good book. Stay armored up and war ready. Cause we were bought at a very high price. Hey, count the cost. Counting the cost. Counting the cost. Counting the cost. Hey, counting the cost. Counting the cost. Counting the cost to follow Jesus Christ. Say counting the cost. Say counting the cost. Counting the cost. Counting the cost. Hey, counting the cost. Counting the cost. Counting the cost to follow Jesus Christ. Say, would you give your life for him? Because he gave his life for you. Say, would you give your life for him? Because he gave his life for you. When he died on that cross, with them thorns on his head, nails in his hands, he did that for each and every one of us. But would you do it for him? Would you give your life for him? Count the cost, y'all. Alright, this last one is called, this is a brand new single. Came out August the 26th. We're going to take it back to prison because my brother, who's serving a life sentence for stealing some Jordans and $30, wrote this hook. So I need y'all to pray for him. His name is Brian Key. He goes by Dirty Face. But he wrote this hook, and I had this beat. So this song is actually on a secular album, a secular mixtape. Anybody know Charlie Boy from Houston? Yeah. So this track is on a mixtape with Charlie Boy, who is in Houston, Texas, which they're like the Texas artists. But when I got the call and was asked to be on the mixtape, I'm like, hey, I only talk about God, right? Oh, yeah, do your thing. Pick your beat. So I picked my beat, and I had the beat for about a month. I took 2 weeks off, and I went in and spent time with my grandmother in Mississippi. It's where I write a lot of music. I write a lot of music there. It's real quiet, I can think, it's real clear. So I went, and I actually wrote another song. I didn't even write this song. But it gave my mind clarity to know what I wanted to do with this song. So, and my grandma was like giving me bars, and I was like, Grandma, I'm gonna put you on as a writer. She was like, don't be putting my name on nothing. So it was pretty cool, So this song, I got back home, I got into my office, and God just started. I told Dirty, I was like, bro, I can't think of any hook. I don't know what the hook should be. So he calls me the next day. He calls me every day. He called me the next day because it was like 8 o'clock. So we're like, all right, we're going to pray about it and see what happens. So he calls me the next day, and he had a whole conversation with God that night. But it wasn't a good one because we can be a little stubborn sometimes. So he's like praying for me for the song, and he said, God tell him, give her this one. He was like, what? That's my song. And he said, God told him, nah, fool, it's my song. And I'm like, oh man. So he was like, are you ready for this? And I was like, yeah. So I get the phone to record, how the tempo, everything. So I recorded on the phone, and he called me back the next day, and I had the song finished. So y'all will get to hear this. And Conversations is a song about prayer. And prior to releasing this song, I didn't know that I would be in even more heavy conversations with God. But yeah, y'all enjoy this. My mom seems to like this one a little more than the others. So it's something about this one that she likes, because she ain't really a rap person. She don't like to rap. But this song's called Conversations. Oh, and be on this song too.
KJSD1 Miss B Kingdom music fit for the king.
Conversations with the Father. I hate to even bother you, but there's a lot of things that I've been going through, and I know you're listening with all these problems that we facing. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. Conversations with G-O-D. Yeah, it's just you and me sitting here face to face. I talk to you about my day to day, asking you to take all my sins away, cause my flesh is weak. At times I feel defeat. But I realize a conversation with you, I said I realize a conversation with you. That's all I need, yeah, that's all I need. When I'm in need, get down on my knees and bow to the King. Confess in my soul, repent in my heart, cause God has all control. He won't put more on me than I can bear. Being sober-minded out of the traps of the devil's snare. Submit yourself, therefore, to the Lord, and pray without ceasing. Jesus, I know you coming soon, cause this world is bleeding. Conversations with the Father. I hate to even bother you, but there's a lot of things that I've been going through, and I know you're listening with all these problems that we facing. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. Conversations with the Father. I hate to even bother you, but there's a lot of things that I've been going through, and I know you're listening with all these problems that we facing. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. So much sadness, so much pain with all these tears like 40 days of rain. Mama's crying cause they babies dying. Police brutality, racist wives, while I'm still screaming out. Yeah, I'm still screaming out. No more violence, no more violence, no more violence. Mass shootings, people lose. There's no justice, there's no peace. My brother gone for life for taking J's off of homie feet. Lord, I know you hear me. You hear my cries and praise. The conversation we having hitting different every day. Conversations with the Father. I hate to even bother you, but there's a lot of things that I've been going through, and I know you listening with all these problems that we facing. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. Conversations with the Father. I hate to even bother you, but there's a lot of things that I've been going through, and I know you listening with all these problems that we facing. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. Woo! And my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, and I will hear from heaven and heal their sins and heal their land. 2 Chronicles 7:14. I thank you, Ms. Arlene, for having me. I would like to give everybody my website where you can stay connected with me. It is www.dakingdomera.org. You can find the music, you can find the dates that we're feeding the homeless, you can find when I'm going to the prison, you can read a little more on some stories and things that I do in the prison. It's a lot of information there. And I appreciate you guys for listening to me and giving me your time. I also have, so this shirt is my new Rebels for Humanity shirt. My brother Manuel Quinones, that's at the Wayne Union, he actually drew this design for me, and I got it digitalized and put on some shirts. I got like 10 shirts over there. If anybody wants to support, whatever you give tonight, they run $30, but whatever you give tonight will be a blessing for the ministry. So thank you, Miss Arlene. God bless you guys, and I'll see y'all next week. Oh, Miss Cindy wants me to share this one story while Miss Arlene's making her way to the front. So there was a guy named Quentin. We call him Q. During COVID, of course, you know, a lot of these people know that because they do prison ministry, you are not allowed to go into the prisons. So my good old buddy Dirty Face and I came up with a spectacular idea. We started a Christian hip hop radio show that airs Monday nights inside the Polanski unit, and it's called The Arm Show, which is the anointed rap movement. And I sent them a lot of my music and other Christian hip hop artists to develop the show. So, as you know, the Polanski unit is actually the death row unit, the Texas men's death row unit. So, when we have church service and volunteers go into the prison, those who are on death row do not get to attend church service. They're in their cell 24 hours a day. So with the Arm Show, it airs throughout the entire prison. So we weren't only reaching general population, we were also starting to reach those on the death row unit. And 2 weeks before Quentin's execution, he gave his life to Christ. And he didn't know, you don't know when you're going to be executed. They don't tell you. They just get you out and, that's it. You don't get to say goodbyes or anything. But 2 weeks before, and I have the letter, he wrote me a letter, which there they call me the First Lady of Arm because I'm the only girl that, does this stuff with them. So they call me the First Lady of Arm, and the guys, the brothers, they send me these letters that are written to me in response to things that I write. We have a newsletter that we send out there, and I participate in all that and just try to continue to be encouraging to them and all of those brothers that are in there, because a lot of them don't have family. I'm like the only family that they have, so I try to, keep it on just a family level and just show them love and encouragement and things like that. But Quentin, he gave his life right before his execution, which was a blessing to all of us to know that story, because we never know who we're impacting or how we're impacting them. So I just say to continue to push forward and share God's word at any opportunity that you have, because you never know whose life you're transforming, whose life you're changing, whose life you're pouring into. If Miss Pam wouldn't have came to see me and made a commitment to see me every week, who knows where I would be right now in my Christian walk, in my faith. She supports me in everything. If I tell her I have something and she can be here, it's late at night, and she could be in bed, but she's here, and I appreciate that. And you too, Pop. I appreciate that that they're here, because they don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's